I'm lost in darkness, searching for light. Every step forward feels like a fight. Shadows of doubt creep in my mind, but I refuse to surrender. I must find a way to rise above the pain, to overcome, to break the chains. My existence is a test of will. I won't be broken, I'll stand still. The weight of the world crushes me down. Fear and uncertainty all around. But I deep find inner strength to face the trials length by length. A way to rise above the pain, to overcome, to break the chains. My existence is a test of will. I won't be broken, I'll stand still. Through every storm, I'll find my way. Through every night, a brighter day. I'll rise from ashes, like a phoenix born. My spirit unbroken, my heart reborn. Day to day, nothing changes. All I want is a moment to think clearly, but thoughts come unrelenting, consuming every waking moment. My mind binds me and I can't escape. I shout for help, but no one hears me. One day I fear I'll just disappear. Lost in this chaos, I'm searching for peace.
I forgot to remove the logo. Damn it. There we go.
Logo.
Hello, everybody.
It was totally
Hi.
not a screenshotted logo. What's up?
Guys, this isn't the WCW podcast. Don't worry.
Oh, it's
Man.
not. See ya.
That shit is gone. I hope you guys had fun earlier. There was a podcast reviewing the final WCW pay-per-view ever earlier this afternoon. You can check that out archived on Facebook or YouTube or wherever you want to do that at. But right now we're talking about WWE Smackdown. 3 hours of mid. No, I'm kidding.
It was
It
wrestling.
was definitely one of the SmackDowns of all time.
Truly a SmackDown.
There were some high points. There was some. Mac, why don't you take us through all that stuff?
So this mediocre show opened with the commentary walking backstage, talking about the history of the arena. I missed that because Nick and I were doing the world famous WCW podcast. But I caught it
It was
right
Robbie's
as
fault.
I caught it right as Rey Mysterio made his entrance and got on the mic after talking about being from the area. Says he came out here to announce that he intends to do the improbable again, just like he did in 2006 and win the Royal Rumble back when he was number 2 in the 2006 Rumble. And main evented WrestleMania and won the World Heavyweight Championship. He said he can't lie. He'll be realistic. The competition is heavier this year and maybe even heavier than 2006. Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, John Cena, Roman Reigns. It's going to be tough, but remember back in 2006, he did it for a well-known friend, Eddie Guerrero.
2 minutes, 12 seconds.
Yep.
Entering in at number 2 because Eddie was number 1.
Yeah. Enter World Heavyweight Champion, sort of, Kevin Owens. He apologizes for interrupting Mysterio, but he had to come out because he heard he was going to win the Royal Rumble. But from the bottom of his heart, there are very few men in this business he respects more than Rey. He'd even go as far as saying that he respects Rey more than anybody in this business. He accomplished things he dreamed of as a kid. He main evented WrestleMania against Steve Austin. He won the tag titles with his former best friend, Sami Zayn, in the main event of WrestleMania. And now he gets to stand here with the title belt all his idols held. And he stands here your true WWE champion. But there's one thing he has left to accomplish in his career, and that's go one-on-one with Rey Mysterio. So he asked Mysterio for one favor, and that one favor is that if Rey wins the Royal Rumble, which Kevin says he really hopes Rey does, that he picks Kevin Owens as his challenger for WrestleMania. Rey says that Owens is not actually the champion, so he can't pick him. But if he does win the ladder match at the Royal Rumble, Rey says that he will choose him as a champion at WrestleMania. Kevin has a fit, says, I am the WWE champion. I worked hard for this. I have this belt. What are you talking about? Rey calls Owens delusional, and he says, you remind me of my son Dominic right now, to which Kevin did not take very well. Starts yelling in his face about how he's the real champion. Kevin goes to attack Rey. Rey kicks him in the knee. Goes for the 619, but Kevin bails and takes his belt and rolls out to the floor to avoid it. Nick, did you zone out during this segment, or was it just me?
I think this was like one of the areas I, believe it or not, I didn't zone out for, and I was also in the logic plague moment of, why is a Raw wrestler announcing that he's going to be in the Rumble on SmackDown? And I get, we have the hometown hero there and open the show and wrestling logic and tropes and whatnot. But it's so wild to not only still have Rey Mysterio, and we're talking, we just saw him on Greed, like 24 years ago.
Yep, absolutely.
He still looks great. He still wrestles phenomenally. Obviously not that same WCW style, but still fantastic in the ring, which is wild. And on top of that, it feels like the 80s are still around. We got the Outrunners dominating merch sales all over the place, and you got the Winged Eagle right there, which is still so surreal to see, because we've all dreamed of that moment, but there it is.
Yeah, and we'll get that moment of Cody holding both of those belts on top of the ladder at the Royal Rumble. Unfortunately, because I would really like Kevin to win that match, but being a realistic WWE fan, we know that's not happening. But yeah, Nick, so after that segment, we go to commercial. We come back. Bianca Belair and Naomi are chatting backstage about how there still ain't any leads to figure out who injured Jade Cargill, and they agree to focus on their tag team match tonight. Naomi asked Bianca to wrap her braid up so there's no accidental contact last week when Bianca was having her braid pulled, and she accidentally hit Naomi in the stomach.
No, go ahead.
A la Sasha Banks style at WrestleMania a couple of years ago. And then Bianca damn near whips Naomi while she's trying to wrap it around her head.
Why are they both dressed like Billy Gunn?
I don't know.
They both have the fucking ass lips on their all over their gear. It's green and red too.
You're right. It is the colors.
Yeah.
It's a sign.
So up next we had Candice LeRae and Nia Jax make their entrance, and we go to break. Back from commercial, Nick Aldis is chatting with Rey Mysterio, informs him that he's giving Kevin Owens his dream match tonight on a random ass SmackDown. Thanks, boss. Cody walks out of the trainer's room and says that he saw what happened, and he was getting checked by the medic, and he would have helped. Rey says that he needs to focus on getting cleared. Let him handle his own business tonight. Cody informs Nick that he's been cleared, and Aldis says that there's a lot of time in between now and the Royal Rumble, and he has an addendum to the contract for the match that needs to be signed, which I'm assuming is a no contact clause. Cody says KO hasn't signed this yet. Nick says that's my next stop, and Cody gives him the contract back and says, when Kevin signs his piece of shit, I'll sign it too. Nick, overall, of the segment with Cody and Rey Mysterio, and
I just thought it was funny the way that we have this potentially serious conversation happening, and the way just Cody conveniently emerges right in the middle of the frame.
Cody no clips in from a door.
Ooh,
Hey, there he is.
No clipping Cody over here.
If you don't believe me,
No, that wasn't meant to have audio. You were supposed to keep talking.
Oh, I thought we were watching.
No, don't
Yeah,
watch.
no, now we're just watching SmackDown again.
No, I didn't.
Rewatching
Implying
the
I watched it the first time.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you trying to say
So,
you came on here without watching the show, John?
Why would I do that?
Right.
So that leads us to Bianca Belair and Naomi versus Candice LeRae and Nia Jax. They had a women's tag match. It was fine. When Bianca and Nia are in there, they're hitting each other hard. Nick, I don't know about you, but I think Candice is a really good bumper. I think she plays the ragdoll.
It's a decent bumper.
Yeah, she plays
Wait,
the
what?
ragdoll. She plays the ragdoll very well. I believe. You know, like she's small, so when she's getting overpowered by like Bianca and stuff like that, it looks more impactful. You know.
Perfect fall woman for Nia Jax to have, honestly.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, the ending of the match.
That is like a Billy Gunn special that they're wearing. That's wild.
Yep. So the ending comes when let me see. Okay.
So
Bianca backs in.
Speaking
Back
of
in.
which, real quick, do we know, like, is Billy Gunn coming into WWE? Because they're dressing in the colors and the lips and things, and he's been gone from AEW just out of nowhere.
I guess we don't know. We don't know his contract status right now, and he did tweet about this outfit. He kind of said, "Why are they dressed like me, and why are they pulling it off better than I ever could?" Who knows? That'd be interesting. I guess it's time. The Acclaim thing has kind of run its course.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're going to see the eventual breakup of the Acclaimed very soon, maybe even tomorrow. Yeah, so I mean, standard tag match. Of course, the tag team champions get the win. What did you think of the women's tag match tonight on SmackDown?
I'm sure John really appreciated the match, and honestly, I would second that. You know, it was a very good, for everything that it was. You know, we mentioned it. Candice LeRae is the perfect fall woman for Nia Jax to have. Naomi and Bianca are both immensely talented at what they do. Bianca is just considerably a powerhouse, and I think that. Yeah, look at them. They are truly women's tag team champions. It's nice to be able to see that title getting defended, because remember the period where it was just gone for months and months.
Yeah, it's nice to see Naomi after she put Jade Cargill through a windshield. That's really nice.
They've got Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend on NXT on the January 28th, and that kind of sucks because the Meta Girls already challenged for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships and then lost and then fell to the back of the line and then rebuilt themselves, and now they've climbed all the way up to the top, and they're just gonna get a random ass match on NXT that they're gonna lose. I thought they were gonna have like a pay-per-view or Saturday night's main event match where maybe Jade would come back, and this seemed like exactly the moment for them to take the tag team championships. I'm not sure why this is happening on a random NXT, but I guess it is on the 28th, so that's 2 episodes of NXT from now. And I mean, when is Saturday night's main event? The 25th.
They could have put it on there. Yeah.
25th.
That could have been on there, man. Maybe some other plot thing will happen between now and then. Maybe Jade's return will happen. Because if not,
it's true that they're on NXT. Because for a while they made it seem like they were completely on SmackDown.
Yeah.
I guess now because they're calling them to their turf. Come down here, you bitches.
Come to the farm league. You're in the Triple A. Come down here.
Yeah.
Whoa, big ass head. No more equal opportunities here.
Oh, give me my ego. Give it back.
So we go to break. We come back from commercial. We get footage of Byron Saxton interviewing Bayley in an empty arena this afternoon. Bayley says that we all dream of main eventing in our home state, and she talks about her disappointment in her last title reign. And this time it's personal because Tiffany Stratton had a hand in Nia Jax beating her for the title at SummerSlam. We go backstage again. Mia Yim and B-Fab are chatting backstage when Piper Niven rolls up playing a pretend Secret Service agent for Chelsea Green. She says the room is clear, and Green comes in and taunts them about and is now standing up for her. B-Fab says it wasn't for the fake mall cop, she would never be champion. Piper gets in her face and suggests a match later on that night. Hey, listen, I get to see Piper Niven, so I don't give a shit.
I like Piper Niven.
Piper.
So Jimmy Uso's walking backstage ahead of his match against Carmelo Hayes. He says he's going to make Melo miss, like he always does. And Jimmy Uso makes his entrance. We go to break. We come back. Carmelo cuts a promo in his entrance about how Jimmy Uso is living in the shadow of his brother, who is living in the shadow of Roman Reigns. And he goes, he says, how are you going to throw shade at me when you're sitting on the bench? Which was a really good promo. He gets up on the apron, and Jimmy Uso beels him over the top rope and makes him look like a bitch right off the bat, which was pretty cool. We had a pretty standard match here. It was just Carmelo and Jimmy Uso doing all of their spots. Carmelo snap suplex on the apron. Jimmy with the suicide dive during the match. He goes to hit the splash, and Carmelo moves. They trade some strikes. He goes up for the splash again. He hits it. He hit the pop-up Samoan drop. Then he hit the diving splash. Carmelo countered with the code breaker. Did you see that, Nick?
Yeah.
That was awesome. But hits him with the code breaker. Nobody home. Nothing but net. But Uso comes back with a super kick. Still no. Roll up from Hayes. No deal. Jimmy with the spear. Uso goes up top. But the infamous Tama Tonga
Nowhere.
pushes Jimmy off the top rope. Jacob Fatu appear. Tama shoves him down. Post-match, the Bloodwine gentlemen
Mello
dominate.
Tries to help out and join them.
Yeah, and he gets clotheslined for his fucking
bam.
boom. Yeah. So here comes the real tribal chief, Sikoa, out to the ring. We go to commercial again, which is like the 8th commercial in like an hour. Back from commercial, Sikoa gets on the mic, but Joe Testosterone makes us know that Solo couldn't get a word in during the commercial break. Solo gets booed again. He puts the mic up to his face for a third time. He gets booed for a long moment before dropping the mic, and he leaves, taking his blazer off, slinging it over his shoulder, and going out through the timekeeper's area. And that's when we get what was my personal favorite moment of the night.
Rage.
Fatu grabs the mic and says, "Is this what it's come to? I'm tired of the disrespect and hate. Even on a bad day, you can't touch me." It says, "I don't give a damn if you cheer or boo me, but I won't let you act like I don't got this." He says, "You think that was crazy or unhinged? You haven't seen anything yet." He goes, "The crazy thing about this situation is that is just getting started." And that's when,
Yeah.
Knight runs out, slides in the ring from behind, and blindsides Tama. Yep, and Fatu. They overwhelm him for a relatively short order, but Braun Strowman makes the save. Strowman comes out after a month off of TV. Crazy. Swats Tama aside and gets in the ring with the Samoan Werewolf. Jacob is fired up and looks like he's about to attack, but Tonga pulls him out of the ring and they bail.
Dude, the way like Tama Tonga landed too, it looked like he hurt his leg or something.
Oh yeah, but I don't know where they exactly showed this because I kind of zoned out a little bit, but they did show a graphic for Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu next Saturday night at Saturday night's main event in San Antonio. Which now,
Monster versus
if anybody
monster.
has watched this,
Meat. Oh, Mac, can't hear you. You're getting a battle of the meat monsters of Braun and Jacob Fatu. That's gonna be wild. Ooh, yeah, I can hear you now.
So they, if anybody knows me and knows the Smackdown podcast, I'm not a fan of Braun Strowman, but this match really made me hype. Like I even
Yeah,
said it in the group chat, I was like, "Am I hyped for a Braun Strowman match?" But maybe it's more for Jacob Fatu, you know?
yeah. Hey, listen, Strowman kills it in those monster versus monster matches. I have to say. Oh, Mac, I am not hearing you again. Yeah, it's that Jacob Fatu era that we are entering. Ooh, I have an echo there. All right, I'm hearing an
Can,
echo. Oh no, I don't know what's happening, folks.
can you hear me, Nick?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I don't know where my camera went, but I really don't give a shit.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think it's he killed in that match with who was it, Bronson Reed
yeah. Those guys fought
on
all
Raw.
over the arena.
Yeah,
Last monster
and he
standing.
didn't he
I lost your audio again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Didn't he smash him on a car? Like jump off a thing and put him through a car?
Oh my gosh, dude! They smashed through like everything. I remember like literally like right off the freaking stage. Of
Yeah,
course,
but
the ring spot as you do in monster matches.
yeah, I mean Braun's good, but like he needs to be in like a gimmick match, you know?
Yeah,
So hopefully they just brawl all over the place. It's a no contest because I don't think Braun or Jacob can afford to lose right now, you know?
yeah. Braun just came
So,
back, and Jacob Fatu is Jacob Fatu.
yeah, he ain't losing anytime soon. All right, so Legado del Fantasma is backstage, and Santos Escobar gives Los Garza a pep talk, but Electra reminds them that it's not one victory doesn't earn them the tag titles. Um, Escobar tells them to beat Motor City Machine Guns and take respect from their hands. Take respect from their hands and their throats tonight. So we get the Motor City Machine Guns. Nice to see.
MCMG taking on Los Garzas,
Yeah, man.
which the
This
nephews of WCW wrestler Hector Garza.
There you go. It all goes back to Nick. It all goes back to WCW.
It always does. And when it does, you can make sure that Mac, myself, and whoever joins us will be talking about WCW.
Yeah. This was a great match. They got heat on Saban for a long time in this match. Saban finally got an enziguri for separation. He tagged Shelly back in. Shelly's House of Fire with right hands, flying elbows, figure four leg lock. Saban with one of his own one of his own as well. Humberto kicks him out of the corner and slams him. Covered for two. They just keep going back and forth. Both Motor City Machine Guns, a drop kick, power bomb, world's strongest slam. Couldn't keep Los Garzas down. Like every week, Nick, I think Los Garzas is getting better and better and better.
Yeah. No,
And they're
like,
getting over with the crowd too. Like their matches are really
right.
working out well. You
Yeah,
know,
no, dare I say they almost were a little bit more popular with this crowd than the MCMG.
yeah, they were. They got a nice little pop coming out. Maybe it's because of, the San Diego area being so populated with, with Spanish and Mexican, maybe it's that. I don't know. But, they
I
had a
mean, I
great
remember too,
match.
like early on, when Angel and Berto came in, like both guys really just, I mean, Berto less.
Lotharios. There was,
Yeah, like Angel, like Berto less, but like there really wasn't a whole lot going on for them, and no fault of their own. Really, it was just a product of the time when they had like every person signed to WWE because they didn't want people going to AEW. But these two guys, they've stood the test of time. They stood how many budget cuts and spring cleanings, and honestly, I think they've really proved themselves on the roster right now.
and signed back, Nick. They both individually signed back like last year or 2 years ago for like 5 years. Like they value them and they're showing it by putting them on TV every week. They have an angle.
Yeah,
Might not be the best one in the world. They're working with Pretty Deadly, which is, not where might not be where you want to be on the card, but at least you're on the card.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
better for them.
But Motor City Machine Guns get the pinfall with the skull and bones on Humberto for the win. Thought it was a good match, very entertaining. I like those. Pick me up in the second half of the second hour matches on the show. It was really good. Goes to the back. Nick Aldis rolls up on Kevin Owens and asks him to sign the paper. Owens doesn't want to sign it until Cody does. And he also wants to read the addendum first, but right now he has a match, so he can't do that just yet. Nick Aldis rolled his eyes and slams the book close. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven make their entrance in the back. We get B-Fab versus Piper Niven. So, I mean, Nick, I don't know about you, but I had really high hopes for Piper Niven for B-Fab when she was in that triple threat match for the Women's United States Championship.
She really showed
And
off there.
yeah, ever since then, she hasn't been on TV. They really haven't been featuring her except for when she was backstage with the Street Profits. And I don't know. I really didn't feel this match, even though I love Piper. I kind of felt like they were all over the place.
Yeah.
Of course, Piper Niven gets the win, and I think at this point, Piper Niven didn't need to get the win in this scenario, but for the story, it makes sense. They're obviously going with the thing where Chelsea is kind of like slowly ignoring Piper or treating Piper like her second instead of her friend. So we might end up getting a Piper Niven versus Chelsea Green match somewhere far down the line. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, maybe the next couple of months or so. But man, I was really disappointed to see B-Fab right back to where she was after she had all that online buzz of people like, whoa, she's working out with Natty and TJ Wilson, Tyson Kidd, and man, she's looking really good.
Yeah, I mean, physically she was great. In the match, though, I don't know if it was just a lack of chemistry between these two. Nothing just really hit for me in this, and probably my least favorite match of the night, to be honest. But I mean, hey, anything to get BFAB more experience and for another Piper Niven victory, I'll say.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to. I just want to see the women on SmackDown get to a point where they all feel like if you're going into a match, I don't know about you, but if you're like going into a match, you feel like, oh, like I don't know which way this is going to go. Because when I saw Piper come out and I saw B-Fab, my heart really wanted B-Fab to win because I really want her to get to that level where kind of like where Meechan's at.
Yeah.
Meechan worked her whole last year to get to where she is now. And she's been killing it. And I kind of want to see that with B-Fab, but maybe they're just seeing something that we don't see. Maybe they think that she's just a jobber or whatever, but I was really kind of disappointed in that because I really want to see B-Fab do better. Get a better spot on the roster.
Oh yeah, she was absolutely in the jobber role tonight, which is really no other way to go about it. Which it sucks because I feel like she's had such a tremendous upside and a lot of potential there. But hopefully, it's not going to be something that they'll consistently double back to when they are like, this heel female wrestler needs a victory.
Yeah. Piper Niven won the match in 3 minutes when she landed her fireman's carry Michinoku driver. After the match, Green and Niven attacked B-Fab. Meechan came out to make the save. Niven and Green retreated, but not before Meechan got a kendo stick whack in on Niven. Niven caught one of the kendo stick shots, but Meechan kicked her right in the chest, and she fell like a redwood tree. Barrett said that this issue won't end with them there. I can honestly see a tag match maybe at Saturday night's main event, B-Fab and Meechan versus Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, and maybe somebody getting a pin over Chelsea Green, setting up another United States title match. I don't know, but I would really, yeah, I'm probably going to get a lot of shit for saying this, but maybe B-Fab pins Chelsea, gets a match. She's obviously not going to win. Chelsea's going to hold that title for a while. But,
Right.
give her a stage, man. Fuck
Give
it.
her
Who cares? It's
something at
SmackDown.
least.
Who cares?
It's
you know?
SmackDown. Who cares? That's honestly how it feels the booking philosophy can be.
So next they show Rey Mysterio walking backstage for his match. They went to Barrett and Testosterone, who discussed Bob Uecker, WWE Hall of Famer, longtime Milwaukee Brewers
Rest in peace,
announcer,
Bobby.
died at 90 this week. He famously had the Andre the Giant choke with his hands around his neck, choking him. Yeah. Um, Video recap aired showing Tiffany Stratton winning her title over Nia Jax 2 weeks ago, with a bunch of live streamers reacting. Saxton interviewed Stratton backstage, said that she made tipstery, which really made me mad, with her win.
I heard that. I
Asked
was
her,
like, oh, come on. You're not even trying on that one.
he asked her for first defense. Asked her about her first defense against Bailey. She said that she heard Bailey earlier that she wants to win in her hometown and make this one of her career big moments. But she's the women's champion, and unlike Bailey, she doesn't have to recite, doesn't have to recreate great moments in the past because right now it's Tiffy time. Yeah, so Ray's ring entrance took place. They showed Victoria in the crowd wearing a WWE logo hat, and it really reminded me of the meme of Rob Lowe sitting in the crowd in the Baltimore Ravens game wearing a NFL hat. Like, what team are you a fan of? I don't understand the question. Don't you see my hat? I am a fan of the National Football League.
Go sports.
Yeah,
I hope both teams just have fun.
yeah, exactly.
I like too when they cut away from Victoria, right when like the guy was like creeping him behind to try and get to his seat. I feel like
Yeah.
they were just afraid that he was going to do something on camera, so they quickly cut.
Oh, yeah. So Rey Mysterio and Kevin Owens come out, and they had a match. Yeah, I mean, the match was good, but here's the thing about this match. Kevin Owens, for years and years and years, dating back to like 2015, 2016, when he came into the company, numerous interviews that I've seen. I want to wrestle Rey Mysterio. I want to wrestle Rey Mysterio. I want to wrestle Rey. And then they come out and they tease it and they're like, hey, we could do this at WrestleMania. And people are like, oh, shit, that's going to be a real good WrestleMania match. And Nick Aldis is like, no, we're going to give it to you on the January 17th, 2025 SmackDown in the middle of the show. Your dream match, Kevin Owens. Aren't you happy? Like, no, dude. No one's going to remember this match. You're in Ray's hometown. What are you doing the JR from Alabama thing? Like, or Oklahoma? Come on, dude. Seriously. But
I do want to give a shout out to Kevin Owens going full Dusty Rhodes with the red elbow pad again.
oh yeah, did you see his shirt too? The Canadian Dream.
Yes, Canadian Dream. And earlier in the night too, he was wearing the Rey Mysterio Hall of Fame shirt.
That's right. Yeah, he came out with it, wearing it um, during the match. But yeah, this match was just Ray trying to overtake the bigger Kevin Owens, reversing all of his signature moves until KO caught Ray with a stunner. Ray flipped over, and it looked really good. Sold it very well. Ray kicked out. Fans were chanting, "This is awesome." I was like, "It's kind of awesome." But you can't chant that. So Um, KO, Rey Mysterio landed a 619 for a big pop and climbed to the top rope. KO knocked him off his balance. He stumbled into the ref, who hit the ropes. KO then landed a pop-up powerbomb for the win, which is nice to see Kevin win with the fucking pop-up powerbomb.
Again, yeah, finally.
Yeah, it was really nice.
I want to say too, like speaking because we're in Royal Rumble season, he was up against a legendary Royal Rumble winner, 62 minutes 12 seconds. One of my favorite Kevin Owens / Royal Rumble moments was, at the 2016 Rumble, he has that last man standing IC title match with John Moxley or Dean Ambrose, and Kevin Owens then later in the night is. Because remember, that was the Royal Rumble for the WWE Championship, and
Yes, it
Kevin
was.
Owens is forcing his way down. He is limping his way to the ring. Like, he doesn't care that he is just basically went through the ringer, fought through hell and back with Mox. Like, he went down to the ring to just fight. Like, that was Kevin
Yeah.
Steen basically going
Yeah.
to the ring, and I love that moment.
Do you remember the ending of that match?
The 2016 Rumble?
the ending to the John Moxley and Kevin Owens match, where it was I believe was it no, that wasn't a last man standing. That was for the Intercontinental Championship, right?
Well, it was Intercontinental Championship last man standing.
Okay, that was the one where Kevin Owens set up all the chairs outside and Moxley pushed him off the top rope and he went through like 80 chairs
Like bunch
ringside.
of chairs, bunch of tables.
Yep. Just a warrior. But yeah, after the
Exactly.
match, KO helped Ray up, shook his hand, but then kicked him and set up for the package pile driver. And then Cody's music hit instantly. And Cody ran out for the save. Referees, agents swarmed quickly and pulled Cody off of KO. Cody broke free and attacked KO at ringside. KO was pulled off and restrained again. KO fled into the crowd, and Cody stood in the ring, fuming mad and yelling at KO. KO stood on the rolling crate up by the hard camera and taunted Cody with the winged eagle belt.
Shout out
So,
to Kenny Dykstra, of all people, being the one to really pull them apart.
oh yeah, dude. I mean, he was in the Spirit Squad. Come on, respect.
Exactly. Kenny.
They were put in a crate, locked away in a crate for 16 years until he came back to be a producer. So
Just put in training.
yeah, and he got cucked by John Cena. So shout out to Kenny.
Yeah, that did happen. Hey, at least hey, Cena's gonna be retiring, and he's got to go do movies. Kenny Dykstra gets to be a road agent.
Yeah, Kenny Dykstra gets to pull Los Garzas away from Pretty Deadly.
Yeah, who's really winning there?
What did you think of this match, Nick?
I enjoyed this match. I liked anything crazy, and I'm always a big fan of matches that have the two of the bigger superstars in WWE together. And like you said, I loved how Cody was just ready to go. Like he's been watching this with his arms crossed, just brewing the whole time, like,
peeking out through the curtain.
Like he's gonna do something. I guarantee it.
Yeah, Cody's just sitting there like.
He's like, I know this guy's going to be up to something. He always is. And then it's going to be that moment where, like, when Owens went for it against Mysterio, he's like, I told you so. Hit my music, and he just sprints out.
He's like, oh no, pack him. After that, they show scenes of San Diego, then commented on the segment right before the break. All this told Cody that he had KO are out of control, and that he hasn't been able to contain them. So at Saturday night's main event, Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes are going to come to the ring and surrender both of their WWE championships to be hung above the ring at the Royal Rumble. And there is going to be a mediator there to make sure that both of them sign the amendment to the contract. And that person is going to be WWE Hall of Famer, the Showstopper, the Heartbreak Kid, NXT's Papa, Shawn Michaels.
Papa Shawn, Mr. Hickenbottom.
So the thing that gets me, I got to go off on a little side tangent here, and I think you might be with me, Nick, because me and you seem to share similar views. That's why we both love WCW, and it will always be the superior brand no matter what. But
represent.
When Nick Aldis was talking to Cody back, there you go. When Nick Aldis was talking to Cody Rhodes backstage, he's telling him, "I can't control you guys." So at Saturday night's main event, we're going to have a mediator there to make sure that you sign the amendment to the contract. And that Saturday night's main event, that mediator who is going to make you sign the contract is the Showstopper, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. And I'm like, dude, just talk like a human being. Just be like, hey, I know they have to get points across and they really have to like hit those, like pop their P's and pop their fucking S's and be like, Shawn Michaels, so people remember it. But like a human dude, just be like, hey, so you guys don't want to listen to me. So at Saturday night's main event, I'm bringing in Shawn Michaels. He's going to make sure you sign that contract. I'm out. But instead, he's like next Saturday in San Antonio, Texas, at Saturday night's main event. Then he says the arena name. He's like, it's going to be you and Kevin signing the contract. The Heartbreak Kid, the Showstopper, the WWE Hall of Famer, Shawn Michaels. It's like, oh my God, get to it.
Yeah, he went above and beyond to try and just drag that one out.
So long-winded, dude. It is crazy. But Yeah, so we go backstage. Ciampa and Johnny Gargano confronted Pretty Deadly. Ciampa said they basically handed the win to the Motor City Machine Guns and asked them what they were doing. Hold on, sorry, I just lost my place because my notes refreshed.
Apollo
Just give me 1
Crews
second.
getting jumped
Yeah.
once again.
Oh, dude, he's just playing the patsy in this whole thing. It's crazy. Hold on 1 second.
Literally, all they give
I'm
Apollo
gonna
Crews
find
is
it.
just they can let him kill Giovanni Vinci, and then he just gets jumped every time. It's like every week someone
Okay,
different
yeah.
jumps Apollo.
Yeah, so Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano backstage confronted Pretty Deadly. Ciampa said basically they handed the win to the Motor City Machine Guns. They admit it didn't go the way they want. Ciampa said they were joking. Everybody is laughing. He told them to become men if they want a shot at the titles. Gargano said Ciampa is only saying that because they believe in them. He said they need to make life easier for them so they can make life better for them. Chin up, guys, he says. See you next week. Apollo Crews walks up to Pretty Deadly and says DIY is stringing them along, and it's taking them nowhere. Then Johnny Gargano just no clips in and just starts whooping the ever loving shit out of Apollo Crews. Like he was throwing those punches and laying them in. It was crazy.
Man,
I love that. I love that side.
how many times has Apollo been jumped recently? Like I feel like how many times did the Bloodline jump him in the last several weeks and months? You know, why do I feel like Shinsuke even jumped him at some point? Giovanni Vinci wanted to jump him.
Yeah. So Bailey makes her way to the ring for the main event of the show. They show sexy ass Roxanne Perez in the front row. Bailey stared her down as Tessitore talked about their interjections on NXT earlier this week. Um, a vignette, Nick, that I sent to you right before the show started of Charlotte Flair, including footage from her moves, her ring entrances, her working out, her on a bikini looking hot in a yacht. Tessitore plugged an Instagram video that Charlotte had posted to her 5.3 million followers on Instagram. I thought it was a very well done vignette. I think it showed off. It was very Flair, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, no, like when I'm watching that, I'm almost thinking like, dang, like AEW should have done something like this for Mercedes. But like you said, that felt like a Flair vignette. Like I was getting those like '80s Horseman vibes. Basically, all I was
Yeah, it
missing
was.
was the Rolex going into the private jet with Arn
Oh
Anderson.
God! Or him checking his watch in the limo.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we get Bailey versus Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship. They had a pretty good match, Nick. I thought that the match was really good. It's nothing that we haven't seen out of Bailey or Tiffany Stratton before, but I felt like they had really good chemistry together. Like they worked really well together. Like they were on the same page. I didn't like that they went to a commercial break 3 minutes into the match, and then when they came back, Bailey was down, and they really didn't explain during the commercial why Bailey was down. But
Just picking back up with it.
yeah, the ending of they wrestled for over 17 minutes, which is crazy, which is great because Tiffany and Bailey really deserve it.
Yeah, which is the good part about these longer SmackDown shows is the women that deserve it, and you know all the wrestlers really on the roster get that opportunity for the most part to really show what they can do, and I think these two ladies here, Tiffany and Bailey, did just that.
Yeah, I agree. The ending of the match saw Tiffany went for the prettiest moonsault ever, but Bailey cut her off and landed a sunset bomb in the corner, which looked great. She scored a 2 count. Tiffany made a comeback and blocked the rose plant and then leveraged Bailey's shoulders down for a 2 count. Bailey then went for the rose plant again, but Tiffany countered with the cartwheel Alabama slam that just fucking killed Bailey. And she hit the prettiest moonsault ever for the win. After that, Testator and Barrett touted that Tiffany's win and said she's now established herself in a higher level, beating a former NXT Women's Champion and multiple-time WWE Women's World Champion.
And pretty cleanly too, no interference at all from Roxanne.
No, and Bailey was the one that went over and started talking shit to Roxanne during the match, which, you know, I think is going to lead to maybe another Bailey doubting her storyline. I don't know, but it looks like to me that Roxanne's probably going to be on the main roster pretty soon.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If not, like going into the Rumble, I guarantee she's going to be one of the participants. In fact, when I was looking at the Women's Royal Rumble, I only saw one woman was announced for that, and that's Nia Jax.
Oh yeah, she did. She announced last week. Yeah. I thought it was a good main event, strong performance by Tiffany. They tried to protect Bailey on commentary a couple of times by saying that her travel schedule this past week has been hectic, and having Perez at ringside, was kind of a distraction. But Roxanne really didn't play into it at all, except for
She
Bailey going
didn't do
over and talking
anything,
shit.
really.
No, she just sat there and looked hot. That's pretty much all she did. But
She was just doing
yeah,
what Victoria was doing.
yeah.
She's like, I hope both ladies have
I
fun.
know this is a yeah. I know this is kind of a one of our regular reviews because we were both kind of zoned out after the WCW podcast. But overall, what did you think of SmackDown?
It wasn't bad. Even though, we were talking about zoning out, we literally just came off of a 2-hour show and had to jump right into a 3-hour SmackDown. But all in all, it wasn't like the worst to get through. There's a couple of segments and matches that just kind of dragged on, but so is modern pro wrestling, especially in WWE. Again, it's not like the perfect SmackDown, but if you're watching it all the way through, you're not going to have like a bad time with it. I'm going to give it a
Yep.
solid, probably 7.5 out of 10. I didn't mind the show at all. Mac, what did you think?
Yeah, I'm right around there with you. I didn't give it a 7.5. I gave it around like a 6.8 to a 7.0 because, you know, SmackDown being 2 hours, it felt tight,
Yeah,
but there wasn't a lot of room to showcase wrestlers like BFAB. There wasn't a lot of time for, even though they did make time for them, but there wasn't a lot of time for guys like Pretty Deadly and for guys like Los Garces. And if they were coming out, they were coming out with Santos and like distracting his opponent in a singles match. Now they're actually wrestling. They have that
yeah,
extra 45 minutes, hour, 15 minutes worth of commercials in an hour. Um, and they're really maximizing the guys that they have right now. They're really telling the stories that they want to tell, and they're compelling, and you're really seeing like an influx of what these guys who would have been sitting backstage doing absolutely nothing or just seconding, um, their third, Santos with Los Garzas, seconding him to the ring. Now they're actually wrestling and showing what they can do, and I'm really happy that these guys are going out there because we've all known, me and you, Nick, we're peas in a pod. Um, we know how good Los Garzas were even before they came to WWE from being in
oh yeah,
TNA and, just the independence and stuff like that. And I mean, look at what Los Garzas was doing with Randy Orton during the pandemic era, with that little 3-man group that they had during the pandemic era, and how much they learned from Randy Orton, and then putting them with somebody like Santos Escobar, who has that experience
right.
in Lucha Underground, in Mexico, in on the Indies, and I think it's done wonders for them. I would love to see Los Garzas get a substantial push. Do I see them winning the tag titles? Maybe. They were over tonight. They got a good reception tonight, but
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say too, Los Garzas are phenomenal, and again, like you said, they have developed so much from when they first started, and you could see the ability and potential there, but they've really kind of grown into that, and I appreciate that. Like you said, they're deserving of that 5-year contract extension, because a lot of wrestlers from that period when they entered in just never didn't manage to stick around for one reason or another, and
yeah,
both guys, we've mentioned they have the pedigree. They come from a wrestling family. Hector Garza in WCW, I think he would have
yes,
loved to have been able to, establish himself in a major American wrestling promotion, how these guys did. So I think these guys have a lot that they might be kind of bringing with them. And I think there was that chip on their shoulder too, of just like, oh, WWE never takes care of cruiserweights and luchadors. And I think both these guys are trying to show something more and show that, we can rise above that level and we can break through that glass ceiling.
Yeah, I think if WCW taught us anything with the Greed show was that like they were circling the drain. They knew they were circling the drain, so they would be like, "Hey, just go out there and whatever. Who gives a fuck?" And that's when guys really show their stuff, like with Shane Helms and Chavo Guerrero having a 4-star match on a, you know, let's be real, a dog shit show. You have Elix Skipper and Kid Romeo and Billy Kidman and Rey Mysterio. And you have Kiwi and Jason Jett, Easy Money, surprisingly, having banger matches when you give them the opportunity, and I think if Los Garzas can go out there consistently every week and have a match like they had with the Motor City Machine Guns this week, that they're going to really start becoming people's favorites. And I really hope they do, because they've been very underrated for a long time. And if there's any time to do it right now, because Meltzer came out and said earlier tonight that WWE are possibly going to be going back to 2 hours on SmackDown in either May or June. So you got 3 hours.
Soon enough.
But for the wrestlers, it's great. For us, it's awful, because right now it's 12:34 a.m. and I just had to do it. We both had to do a 3-hour podcast and watch a 3-hour show and then do another hour podcast. So, but to wrap it up, Los Garzas, my mega stars of the night.
Absolutely. Those two guys have been killing it. And hey, quite frankly, I would absolutely agree with that. But if I were picking a mega star of the night, Tiffany Stratton. It was Tiffy time. She's again proven herself as quite worthy of holding that championship title, and that victory over Bayley, I think, helps cement that. So, megastar wise, I gotta go with Tiffy time.
So, who, in your opinion, Nick, would be the jobber of the night tonight?
Breaks my heart to say it, but we saw how she was used. I gotta go with B-Fab.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah.
For my jobber of the night,
It's tough too, because they don't give us like a ton of matches to really figure that out.
Yeah. Okay, I got one for you. I'm going to go outside the box
Okay.
on this one. Okay. I'm going to go with Nick Aldis.
Oh, okay.
Because Nick Aldis has been getting all of this praise for the past couple months. Well, at least you're not Adam Pearce. You have control of SmackDown. Everybody respects you. You make the decisions, and if they don't like it, tough titties. They have to respect it. But now Nick Aldis is saying that he can't control Cody and Kevin Owens, so he has to bring somebody from the outside in to help control the situation. So that's basically admitting I can't run my own show. So all the shit that he's been talking about about Adam Pearce over the past month, of how he can't keep Raw under control.
No,
Nick Aldis,
scrap daddy.
Just 2 months later, Nick Aldis is bringing in the Heartbreak Kid to super kick somebody's head off if they don't act right. So my jobber of the night is Nick Aldis for not being able to do his goddamn job.
Now that's actually true. I would also throw an honorable mention out there for Apollo Crews, because he keeps getting attacked by people for no reason.
Got his ass whooped
again. Yeah. Like, why?
Yeah, I know, right? He's a really Uwa Nation is a great wrestler. Go out there and wrestle. He's beat Giovanni Vinci in 8 seconds.
He's a freaking tank, and he can be super athletic. He can do it all. It's wild the way they've been treating him, and it's not even like it's a new thing. They've constantly just not realized what they've had with him.
Dude, he was just walking into the building like a month ago through the security checkpoint, and he got his head kicked off.
Oh, I feel so bad for Apollo, man.
Yeah, but hey, man, listen, Nick and I are tired. Nick's got to go to his girlfriend's house. I got to go to sleep. So, Nick, you want to wrap us up here?
Yes, sir. Is John here?
I don't think so. I think John might be asleep. John, are you here? Almighty and powerful Oz, John. No, he's not here, Nick.
Here's the issue. If John's
Yeah.
not here, we can't really end this, can we?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, so here's what the plan's going to be, Mac. You will try your hardest to get us through whatever, and I'm going to log in as John and end this.
Okay, well, you go right ahead and log in as John.
All right. Take us home, Mac, and I will leave.
All
the
right,
way
guys.
to get-
I appreciate every single one of you guys. Sorry you can't see my camera. We're doing a new restream thing with another app, and it's not good. But yeah, guys, listen. Thank you for tuning into the WCW podcast earlier today. We did 2 hours on 2001 Greed. Did another hour on SmackDown tonight. We are going to be doing the 1989 Chi-Town Rumble for our next Watch This for WCW.
It is
there's
I, John Escudero. I've been here the
Hello.
whole time.
Yeah. Hello, fellow human. It is me, John Escudero.
The real John is here.
I was just telling everybody that the next WCW podcast will be sometime in early February. We will be doing the 1989 Chi-Town Rumble. That is main evented by the 5-star rated by Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and Ric Flair main event for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship.
That's
And
gonna be
I've seen this match before. It's one of the greatest matches of all time, and I say that with no hyperbole. And I'm really glad that Nick decided to text us and been like, he's like, I'm exercising. He goes, as one of the co-founders of the WCW podcast, along with Rob and me, he said, I'm exercising my 33% of the WCW podcast, and we're doing Boys Choice. So good choice, Nick. It's going to be an awesome. Oh, dude.
Hey, it was runner-up.
Yeah, I texted you earlier, and I was like, dude, Hiro Masuda comes out with like 4 guys tonight, and they all lose.
Every single one loses. Dude,
oh, my God. Yeah.
But, yeah,
so 89 Chi-Town Rumble coming soon to the WCW podcast. Keep your eyes out on we'll put out a post when we're going to watch it and put out a post when we are going to film the podcast. So, Nick, you want to take us home, buddy? We've done about 4 hours of podcast today.
Yes, we have done a lot of podcasting. Like Max said, go check out the WCW podcast we just did on Greed 2001. And this is Dirt Sheet Radio. We are always on, so go and check us out. You're here for SmackDown. Make sure you go and check out Monday Night Raw's recap. We're also here Tuesdays for NXT. We're here Wednesdays for Dynamite. Stick around a little bit after Dynamite. Late night, midnight, we're going to be doing the flagship Dirt Sheet Radio podcast, the show that started all of this. And hey, if you're not able to stay with us live at midnight, that's totally fine. Hey, listen to it on your way to work, school, wherever, your way home even. But we're also going to say when you get home, make sure you stick around because then it's the TNA Impact recap show. And on Fridays, you're already here. It is going to be more of the same, us navigating through 3 freaking hours of whatever. And we, of course, have the weekend wrestling roundup with a W with CJ and Tyler. You know them, you love them, and you're going to see more of them on the weekend. And when you're watching them on the weekend, make sure you also watch the boys at the 3NT Wrestling Podcast. The boys. And hey, it has been great that we can all hang out here and chat. And speaking of chat, you guys are great. You guys are awesome. And gosh, I can't believe we're almost done podcasting, Mac. It felt like this is going to go on forever.
Oh my God, we're about to hit that 1 hour post, Nick, too. So that's great.
Yes, because last time I was trying to get through all this and I didn't get to do that. But hey, thank you guys so much for joining us. I don't know about you, Mac. I'm going to go straight to bed.